get to introduce two of those great leaders that I've had the chance to talk to over the last year and a half. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage the president of GAPABA and also the president of NAPABA, our National APA Bar Association, which represents over 60,000 attorneys, judges, law professors, and law students. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Angela Hsu, counsel at Bryan Cave Leighton Paisner, and former Navy Admiral A.B. Cruz.
Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you, Admiral, for being here. I've never had a real admiral as a wingman, so it's it's kind of cool. I like it. So last time I was up here speaking to you guys as president was at the Lunar New Year banquet in 2020. We were so excited. And my year was supposed to end at a live Lunar New Year banquet in 2021. Of course, we didn't have one. So I'm actually the holdover president. So this is my retirement party. It can be Admiral Cruz's retirement party as well, because he's about to finish his year as well. So February of 2020, we were so excited at the Lunar New Year banquet, and then right after that, we had the lockdown. But in true GAPABA spirit, we were one of the first organizations to go to the virtual format, and we had event after event. We had great speakers, very, very engaged. We had a nominations committee that was very successful. We became a jobs board for a lot of organizations. So there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, we stayed engaged in that year and a half. But as a group, we also saw that there were more incidents of violence against Asian Americans than ever before. And that was really concerning to all of us. We were watching this happen mostly on the coast, but really not kind of central news story until March of this year. March of this year, all of you know, there was a shooting of 6 Asian Americans, overnight mass shooting. And the very next day, the New York Times called me. And then CNN and NPR and all these different news organizations. It was really, pretty breathtaking. And Asian Americans really were starting to speak out everywhere. I mean, people really focused on Georgia, I think, because it felt like the culmination of all this that had been happening for a year. So while I was on this kind of talk circuit, funny enough, I actually showed up on Snapchat. My daughter was like, "Mom, what are you doing on Snapchat?" I'm like, I don't know. So while I was on this talk circuit trying to be the voice of Asian Americans everywhere, I realized something. I realized that you can draw a line from the lynching. One of the biggest lynchings in U.S. history was of Chinese in L.A. You can draw a line from that to the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, to the Japanese internment, to what happened to Vincent Chin in Detroit, and harassment of South Asians and Muslims, and then the shooting rampage today. That there's the thread, and the common thread is that Asian Americans seem to be perpetual foreigners. And this is a lived experience for most of the people in this room, because sometimes people compliment you on a language you've spoken all your life, which is a curious thing. And sometimes people, your own countrymen, will tell you to go back to your own country, which is also kind of a weird thing. But sometimes when this country is angry at another country, there are consequences for us as Asian Americans. So just, this is an example I've given before. Like when we were mad at France, we re-christened French fries into freedom fries. But no one was out there looking for French-looking grandmas to beat up. I mean, that's a big difference. So long as we're perceived in our own country as foreigners, anyone who's Asian is a potential target. The news media that was covering this 316 shooting, they called this a tipping point for our community. And I use sort of similar language, a tipping point. But 6 months later, what does that mean? What has actually changed for us? And I would suggest to you that for me, it means we have a lot of work to do still. And I don't think we need another act of senseless violence to start our work. And it also means that every time we as Asian Americans are treated as any less than fully American, we have the right to be outraged. In fact, we have the responsibility to be outraged. So I want to thank you, GAPABA, for allowing me to lead during this time period. It was really just extraordinary. It's an experience that, I will never forget and hope to never relive in some ways. But I have so much love and confidence in this group. And I just know, you guys are going to be in good hands. We're going to be in good hands. I'm really excited for the future of GAPABA. Thank you.
Angela, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your words tonight. Good evening, everyone. It's been a long time since I've seen a room this full, and it's wonderful to see, especially with fish swimming in the background. Good evening on behalf of the National Asian Pacific American Bar Association's Board of Trustees, many of whom are here. I extend our warmest greetings and best wishes to GAPABA and all its members, supporters, and friends. It's overwhelming to see this crowd. I'm A.B. Cruz, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with you this evening. Angela, thank you for the invite. I really do appreciate it. My visit here is long overdue, and I'll admit that firsthand. I'm a little bit ashamed that I haven't made it sooner. I can't tell you how many times I said to Michael Wu, who I know has got to be up front somewhere. There he is. Michael Wu, I always said, I'll be there this year. I'll be there. He would be running. He would call me, usually breathing heavily. And that was Michael Wu. But he would invite me every year to this event. You got to come, you got to come. And I always said, I will be there, I will be there. And something always intervened, and I never made it. I do, however, remember the last time I was here with the GAPABA family. We were having a panel discussion, and seated next to me was, I think the panel discussion was at one of the local law firms here. But seated next to me was our dear friend, Han Choi. That was a special moment for me. And I think about that moment all the time. And as I was preparing to make this trip, that was forefront in my mind. But this year has been unique, above all prior years. I knew I had to be here. No excuses this time. I'm here, Michael. For the past year has been a challenging year beyond words. Not only have we had to navigate COVID, if that weren't enough, but we also had to experience, as my colleague here has mentioned, we also had to navigate unwarranted anti-Asian American hate incidents, none more pronounced and painful than the senseless killings here in Atlanta just a few months ago. For this reason alone, I had to be here on behalf of NAPABA to honor the fallen and the victimized, but also to congratulate GAPABA, its leaders, its members, for making great things happen in the wake of tragedy, and to move our collective mindset and our collective AAPI family from thinking victim to victory. Here, in particular, I want to applaud GAPABA for establishing the AAPI Crime Victims and Education Fund. This fund will help ensure victims of these senseless hate incidents get the help and support they need. But more importantly, to make sure that the victims transcend tragedy and move from victim to victory. NAPABA commends GAPABA and is happy that we could lend our support to that initiative, a most worthy initiative. And we look forward to partnering with one of the really leading affiliates in NAPABA more in the future. I congratulate Angela again on an outstanding run, an extended run as GAPABA's president. I salute you and your fellow outgoing board members for a job well done. Thank you for your service. NAPABA also offers its best wishes to Timothy, the incoming president, Tina, president-elect, somewhere in the crowd. I know she's out there. And all the incoming GAPABA board members for a great year ahead, and I know you'll have it. Congratulations to the award recipients this evening. I know I saw Monica Howard Douglas a little earlier. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself, but congratulations, Monica. Peter, I see you up front here. Peter Carter and our friend BJ Pax is up here too. Congratulations, guys, in advance. But I guess above all, a special heartfelt tribute, more personally, certainly to me, is to the Han Choi family. I haven't seen them yet tonight, but I understand that they may be here, and if they are, let them know that we are thinking of you. And of course, to the families of those killed, let's pay tribute to them and honor them by remembering them and always moving our collective mindset, our heart and soul from victim to victory. Thank you.